Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to His Holiness Chandramauli Swami daily call. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, are we going to continue previous series, which is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 10, verse 27? Or
yeah, what have the other devotees been doing the last 2 days?
yeah, so I will share that. Maharaj.
Yeah, I'm asking you a question. What are the other devotees? I haven't been on for 2 days. So what did they do? They didn't do
It was different, Maharaj. Yesterday, Sridevi Mataji covered Canto 4. That was different, 4th Canto. But today, Srimati Mataji said that we are going to continue the previous series.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, why don't the devotees continue the series when I'm not there? Anyway, okay. So yeah, ready to go?
Yes, Maharaj, over to you, please.
Yay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Aho Bataswa Yasa Satriyaskari. Usatala Punya Yasa Kari Bhuvaha. Asyanti Nityam Taranugrahe Sitam. Smitavalokam Swapatim Sma Yat Prajaha. Undoubtedly, it is wonderful that Dwarka has defeated the glories of the heavenly planets and enhanced the celebrity of the earth. Inhabitants of Dwarka always sing the soul of all living beings, Krishna, in his loving feature. He glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. Purport. The heavenly planets are inhabited by demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varun, Vayu, and the pious souls reach there after performance of many virtuous acts on earth. Modern scientists agree that the timing arrangement in higher planet systems is different from that of the Earth. Thus, it is understood from the revealed scriptures that the duration of life there is 10,000 years by our calculation. 6 months on Earth is equal to 1 day on the heavenly planets. Facilities of enjoyment are also similarly enhanced, and the beauty of inhabitants is legendary. Common men on the earth are very much fond of reaching the heavenly planets because they have heard that comforts of life are far greater than that on the earth. They're now trying to reach the moon by spacecraft. Considering all this, the heavenly planets are more celebrated than the earth. But the celebrity of the earth has defeated that of the heavenly planets because of Dwarka, where Lord Shri Krishna reigned as king. 3 places, namely Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka, are more important than the famous planets within the universe. These places are perpetual sanctified because whenever the Lord descends on earth, he displays his transcendental activities, particularly in these 3 places. They're perpetually the holy lands of the Lord, and inhabitants still take advantage of the holy places even though the Lord is now out of their sight. The Lord is the soul of all living beings, and he desires always to have all living beings in their sarup, in their constitutional position, to participate in transcendental life and his association. His attractive features and sweet smiles go deep into the heart of everyone. And once it is done, the living being is admitted into the kingdom of God, from which no one returns. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The heavenly planets may be famous for offering better facilities of material enjoyment, but as we learn from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 20 and 21, one has to come back again to the earth planet as soon as one's acquired virtue is finished. The work is certainly more important than the heavenly planets, because whoever has been favored with the smiling glance of the Lord will never come back again to this rotten earth, which is certified by the Lord himself as a place of misery. Not only this earth, but also all planets of the universe. Your universe is a place of misery, because in none of the planets within the universe is there eternal life, eternal bliss, and eternal knowledge. Any person engaged in devotional service of the Lord is recommended to live in one of the three above places, namely Dwarka, Mathura, and Vrindavan. Because devotional service in these three places is magnified, those who go there to follow the principles and terms and instructions imparted by the revealed scriptures purely achieve the same result obtained during the presence of Lord Krishna. His abode and he himself are identical, and a pure devotee under the guidance of another experienced devotee can obtain all the results even at present. Krishna, Shivaram Swami Namaste, Saraswati Deve. Gauravani Pacharine Nivasesa Sunyavari Pastep Yaren Sutane Vanshakopatu Visha Pipa Sindhu Pevacha Patitanam Pavane Jo Vaishnave Jo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. So, the absolute nature of the Supreme Lord is being illustrated. Absolute in the terms of benefit. And what is that absolute nature? That wherever the Lord has come, that place is a holy place. Of course, that's extended that even wherever the Lord is worshipped, that's also a holy place. But in terms of direct experience, and then the Lord's personal presence sanctifies that place, and then it becomes a tirtha automatically. And so one who goes to the tirtha, whether the Lord is personally present or has become unmanifested because of the time element, still the benefit is the same because of the absolute nature of the Lord. If when devotees chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and they make an effort to chant with attention, with devotion, then they are actually associating with the Lord through sound vibration. And as that chanting develops, the association becomes more and more prominent. And then as heat increases, as one approaches the fire, so the presence of the Lord's existence becomes more and more felt as one takes advantage of any of the aspects of the absolute nature, such as reading Bhagavatam or hearing Bhagavatam, such as worshiping the deity form of the Lord, such as visiting or living in holy places, such as, of course, we mentioned chanting of the holy name, and of course, associating with your devotees. So this is so one doesn't have to think in terms of a location, one has to think in terms of consciousness, how one applies one's consciousness in the activity of devotional service. And that consciousness should be focused completely on the Lord. Therefore, one of the offenses that is mentioned in the chanting of the holy name, which is the foundation by which all other offenses are committed, and that is inattentive chanting. So it's emphasized by the acharyas, especially Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and particularly Bhakti Vinod Thakur, that one avoid this offense of inattention, because it causes one to miss the opportunity for eternal life, because it is actually an offense to be inattentive while chanting. And of course, it appears that we struggle, everyone struggles with this inattention, but still, the struggle must continue in order to overcome it to the point where one can actually chant with attention. And that is the perfection of one's process of chanting. Of course, as that attention becomes, and the holy name becomes the means by which one's consciousness reaches higher and higher levels of spiritual awareness. And ultimately, it takes one to the platform of loving God, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is the absolute nature of the name. It's mentioned in the Shastras, Abhinna Tvam Nami Namino. Krishna and his name are none different. Krishna and his forms are none different. Krishna and his pastimes, and as mentioned here, particularly in these three places, Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka, are absolute and none different than him. And of course, Krishna in his service, when one is fully engaged in devotional service, they are associating with the Lord through the process of serving the Lord. Now, one should be very enthusiastic to control the mind, because this is the foundation by which all success is. One has to keep very carefully control of the mind and direct that mind towards Krishna, because when the mind is directed towards Krishna, it elevates one to Krishna directly. And when the mind is not connected to Krishna, it goes into different places within the material energy, and one starts to accumulate material consciousness again. So the emphasis is on very strong and clear control of the mind and senses, which has to be practiced, because the tendency of the conditioned soul, especially in this Kali Yuga, is to be easily distracted by the material energy, particularly in today's world where there are so many features of varieties presented in them by the material energy to simply attract and distract one. So one has to be very diligent. Otherwise, the mind, if it's not controlled, it can lead to havoc. Sometimes we even see it in our own self. We think of a thought that is really bad or something that is not beneficial to anyone, including ourselves. And we wonder why, how did that thought come up? Where did it come from? It's there within the recesses of the mind due to previous experiences. And it will again merge, not merge, but manifest itself in a very ugly way if we're not careful. Control that mind and make sure we keep it focused on Krishna, because the process of Krishna consciousness is self-explanatory, means become conscious of Krishna. And so chanting the holy names, reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, worshiping the deity form, and even taking prasadam in the mood of honoring the Lord's remnants as an offering of the mercy given by the Lord. And of course, associating with and serving pure devotees. These are all absolute principles. As Lord Chaitanya illustrated these 5 principles: living in a holy place, chanting the holy names, hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam daily, associating with devotees, and worshiping the deity, and chanting the holy name and worshiping the deity in his form as a deity. These 5 processes, as it's mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion by Srila Rupa Goswami, who received this knowledge directly from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the 5 most powerful forms of devotional service. So here we're hearing about the glories of the holy places. And Prabhupada makes that point, whether Krishna is present or not, still the holy place will elevate the consciousness of the conditioned soul, because the Lord has stamped it with his presence, and that is an absolute principle of elevation. So that's why it mentions in the explanation of the 9 angas of devotional service, there's one called serving the lotus feet. And serving the lotus feet includes a few variegated activities, but one of them is to visit and serve holy places. So this is a requirement for each and every devotee. We have to take time, at least 1 or 2 times throughout the year, and go to holy places such as Vrindavan, Mathura. We also have a wide range of holy places. Of course, Mayapur, and various other holy places, which are pastime places of the Lord. In fact, Srila Prabhupada gets right to the point in explaining how important it is. And he says, well, every devotee in our ISKCON movement should visit all of the places visited by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now that's a tall order, to go to all of Lord Chaitanya's holy places. But he did emphasize, he said, at least every year for 8 days, the devotees of our movement should assemble together and discuss unity and diversity. And by coming to the Mayapur Gaur Purnima festival. As Prabhupada used to say, Vrindavan is my home, Bombay is my office, and Mayapur is my place of worship. And so we can also adopt that mood, making Mayapur and Vrindavan our home and our place of worship, and wherever we preach or can be our office. In other words, office means a place where you carry out your business. And our business as devotees are to become Krishna conscious and to spread Krishna consciousness to everyone. And we're seeing that the spreading of Krishna consciousness is becoming more and more readily available due to the fallout that Kali Yuga is taking. Kali Yuga means a gradual decline, and sometimes not only gradual, but sometimes fast, decline in the quality of life, where many of the good qualities of the living being are no longer even noticeable. And people simply live in order to gratify their senses and to gratify the senses of those who are connected with them. So Kali Yuga is moving strongly in that direction. And the prediction is it'll become more and more like that. But at the same time, there is great opportunity to assist Lord Chaitanya in spreading his movement by taking up this mood of what we call it, welfare work. Real welfare work means to know a person's welfare and then work towards bringing it about. And what is that welfare work in this age is somehow or other bring people to Krishna in one form or another. We have many opportunities. In fact, if we stay within our house or in our little cubby hole, we won't have many opportunities. But if we get out, associate with devotees, go to the temple, visit the yashas, associate now the warmer weather, at least in the Western Hemisphere, is becoming very, very ideal, where more and more activities will be going on, spiritual activities. So we have great opportunities to associate and take part in these opportunities and to see how we can contribute to spreading Krishna's consciousness, because it's glorious. It is Lord Chaitanya's message to each and every one of his followers. Please assist me in bringing my mercy to the rest of the world. He made a personal plea mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the 9th chapter, where he personally is asking everyone to assist him in distributing this mercy of love of God. So even if you die doing it, then you go back to Godhead. Doesn't matter. But if you don't do it, you're missing out on a grand opportunity to actually achieve the mercy of the Lord and to go back home, back to Godhead. It's very hard for anyone to actually achieve perfection in this age without simply by doing their own bhajan. Practically impossible. Therefore, our bhajan is self-development to a point where we can again become an instrument of the mercy of the Lord. We must do that. It's not something that it's optional. Of course, it's not forced, but the instructions are there, the encouragement's there, facilities available, and the opportunities are many. So we should do that. And it becomes a very interesting life because you meet so many people, you make so many friends, you can see how people are suffering in the material world and how you can somehow or other think of ways to relieve their suffering. So one of the ways that we can energize our spiritual life, energize our consciousness, is to take opportunities and visit these holy places and then come back energized and take part in this Sankirtan movement. which is glorious. Okay, so this is a very power-packed purport describing the comparison between the heavenly planets and Dwarka. And as it says here, that people who have some knowledge, they aspire to go to the heavenly planets because they want greater and greater opportunities for material sense enjoyment. But it says that even the holy places that Krishna has visited will defeat any of the benefits that are given by the holy places, by the heavenly planets, by the heavenly planets. Okay, so Hare Krishna.
Thanks, Maharaj. Thank you very much for such wonderful class. Really amazing points that you mentioned on in terms of what's the importance of these holy places, and also what's our real, I would say, duty. As you rightly said that, yes, we might be involved in other duty, but very important duty for all of us is to spread Krishna consciousness and bring lost soul to Krishna, back to Krishna. I think that's one thing. So, and that's something which is very important.
Rishab. Hey, Rishab. Rishab.
Rishabh Prabhu.
We're losing you.
You hear me? I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Questions?
Yeah, so Hare Krishna, dear devotees, if you have any questions, comments, or realization, please unmute yourself. Yes, Silpesh Prabhu, I can see. And also, before that, I request everyone to please switch on your video. It's always very good to have an interactive session. Yeah, thank you. Silpesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Great to have you back. I just wanted to ask, Krishna's Dwarka, that's probably underwater today. So the Dwarka that we physically have today, is that still like a holy dam?
Scarlett, turn off your video. Yeah. I don't really know. Dwarka's Dwarka, whether it's underwater or above water. It's Dwarka. I'm not sure what today's present manifested form of Dwarka is, but the area where Dwarka has existed, there is something there. But yeah, it says when Krishna left the planet, that city left with him. And all the inhabitants went back to Godhead who were there. So, yeah, it can't hurt to go.
Thank you, Maharaj.
I don't know much more I could say. If it's there, it provides an opportunity.
So Maharaj, like the current Dwarka, like whatever we see, yes, it's not like whatever was on the sea, it's gone. But is this not that like uh, Krishna lotus feet definitely have touched that place also, like some part of that, whatever we see right now, and maybe because of that, it's still considered as sacred place.
I don't want to speculate, but what you say sounds right. But I can't say for sure. I just don't have enough knowledge in that about that. I don't know what the present day Dwarka is, but people do go there. You could call it the unmanifested form of Dwarka, or the manifested form of Dwarka. I mean, Prabhupada is definitely emphasizing Dwarka in his purport. Obviously, he's making that point. The Dwarka is still there. I mean, Krishna spent a lot of time in Dwarka. And he constructed that city himself. But then he moved everyone to Mathura when Dwarka was going, in order to protect the inhabitants when they were attacked by demons. They all went to sleep one night, and then the next day they woke up in Mathura. Mm.
So Maharaj, one related questions. While other devotee raise their hand or write something in chat. Uh, See, whatever Prabhupada write, every single word, single thing is having very huge importance. And of course, different words, different things, it's a different context behind that. And when he writes here that visiting Mathura, Vrindavan, or Dwarka, like that's very, very auspicious holy places. We also hear that whenever there is a glory of Krishna going on, there is chanting and in association with devotees, that also like is considered as equivalent to holy place. So this is like,
Yeah.
yes, but like visiting holy place is probably to get more mercy in that dham. Is that the?
Well, Dham has concentrated mercy, but there's mercy in any place where the Lord is worshipped. We entitled our book Holy Jail because we wanted to make the point that even in jail, if God is worshipped there, that is also in the real sense of the definition, it is a sacred place because God is being worshipped. Because God is non-different from any place that he's worshipped. That's why we say, turn your home into a temple. Establish worship in your home, and your home is no longer a home, it's mandir. The difference between the a house next door to you, and your place is both are houses, both have driveways, both have people in it. But wherever there is worship of the Lord in a regular way, although it looks just like a house, it's not called a house, it's called a place of worship, or a place where the Lord personally resides. And therefore, it is, in the absolute sense of the terminology, it is a holy place. That's why we encourage all devotees to turn their home into bring the Lord in and then worship Him nicely. Especially those who are, a distance away from the temple. You can't always get to the temple. Important.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, please think about like nice questions, nice realization. It's such nice thought in terms of holy dham, chanting, devotee association. Any questions, any comments, please?
Questions are not limited. You can ask accordingly.
Yes, Silpesh Prabhu, I see your hands raised. Yeah, please.
Maharaj, do you remember last week when you were teaching us the Ramayana, and I asked a question about how Valmiki knew the story of Ramayana, and we weren't sure about how he had heard it. So I heard a couple of talks, one by Radhana Maharaj and one by Atul Krishna Das, where they explained how Valmiki learned the Ramayana. And basically, first Narad Muni had come to Valmiki's ashram, and Valmiki asked him, "Is there like a perfect man in the world today?" And he said that there is, and that's Ram. And Narad Muni very simply told Valmiki the Ramayana. When Valmiki went to sit on the riverbank with his most senior disciple, and they were meditating on this. And while they were meditating, there were two cranes enjoying on the riverbank, and a hunter came and killed the male crane. And Valmiki cursed the hunter, and then he regretted cursing him, saying, "Who am I to curse the hunter when the hunter is just doing what a hunter does?" And then Brahma appeared and said to Valmiki, "The way you cursed him was actually a blessing, because you did it in the correct meter, and I want you to write the Ramayana as a result." And Brahma gave him the vision of the Ramayana. That's what I learned, Maharaj.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard the story up to the point of learning the Ramayana. Yeah, so we can accept that if it's coming from, authorized sources. But we can also say that both sources are correct, because the Lord manifests Himself and throughout the different millenniums according to a scheduled appearance. And so, just like it says that, Krishna's pastimes, Ram's pastimes, they go on in other universes also. But these pastimes are not exactly the same in each and every universe. Some details are also adjusted or different. And Prabhupada mentions that too. Just like when Hanuman comes, he comes at different times. He comes in different ways too, depending on, the way he wants to come. So there is, so if you hear two different stories, you have to see whether it's contradictory or it's actually complementary. In this case, it complements the point.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Suresh.
There is one question by Rishabh Prabhu in the chat, Maharaj. He's saying, would like to share that Gurudev told me yesterday that intelligence is, I think his meaning, the intelligence is received from always remembering Krishna. I hope I got it right.
Everything auspicious comes from always remembering Krishna. When you remember Krishna, immediately you understand what to do or how to act. This is the ultimate principle, is to always remember Krishna. So intelligence is there, memory is there, understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing at the particular time also becomes manifested when you remember Krishna. Everything. It says that, I'll give you an example. It says that you have some things that you have planned to do, but you haven't got to them yet. So when you remember Krishna, he reminds you, oh, you wanted to do this, or you wanted to go here, or you wanted to, whatever it is, he'll remind you of that. And that's super soul doing it within the heart. For me comes knowledge, remembrance, forgetfulness. I am the ability in all living entities. Intelligence is a quality of ability. That's Krishna.
Rishabh Prabhu, I hope you got the answer. You're on mute. Yes, he's saying thank you. Good.
Okay.
He has also mentioned, Maharaj, one thing in the chat. They found Shiva temple below the pyramids in Egypt. So I'm not sure, Rishabh Prabhu, what's the source? But
Can you repeat that?
they found Shiva temple below the pyramids in Egypt.
They found Shiva temple below
Egypt
what?
pyramids. Pyramids in the Egypt.
In Egypt.
Yeah, under pyramids.
Yeah, we know. Vedic culture is all over the world. You can find it in the Mayan, the Aztec, Indian culture, which is in the western side of the world. Find it all over. Find it. You trace out everything by historical evidence and language. If you know how to use these two means of tracing, you can find so many things in the Vedic culture in different places all around the world. It's all there. The Vedic culture was the one world culture many thousands of years ago. Now we're in Kali Yuga, so everything is has gone rotten. As Prabhupada said, it's all rotten now.
Silpesh Prabhu, yes, your third hat trick question for today. Please go ahead.
Sorry, nobody else is asking. I thought,
Yes,
let me.
please.
The human race, when we read, for example, Srimad Bhagavatam, the demigods would often have children as well on earth by, for example, like the Panda Queen Kunti had the boon to call the demigods down one by one. So am I correct in thinking the human race is a very mixed race? It's both demigods as well as like the sons of Brahma and Manu and so forth?
Well, there's distinctions between the different categories of living entities. And demigods are one element, and humans are another element. You can read that in the 5th canto. It describes the different gradations of living beings, and there are different categories mentioned according to intelligence. And so, yeah, if you're born on this planet, then you're a human being. If you're from the heaven, you're born here. You come here, then you're still a demigod or a heavenly being. Although you may be acting, and you may be acting like a human being. Categories of races are quite distinct. And the categories are given by qualities and by knowledge. So, during the time of Queen Kunti, it says that sacrifices were being performed, and therefore the demigods would occasionally or regularly visit the earth planet. But now sacrifices have been stopped pretty much, except for the Harinam Sankirtan. And once in a while the demigods come down, but hardly at all, because the place is too polluted for them. If they come to help the human race out. But generally, they don't just come here anymore.
And can a human become a demigod? In the past, were they able to become demigods by their practice?
You'd have to take on a demigod birth or body as a demigod. You can't transform your body from human to demigod. But you can become just like it says that those who engage in devotional service, they have all the good qualities of the demigods. Religion, renunciation. But humans can practice devotional service and even excel the qualities of the demigod. Like it says, the spiritual master is the embodiment of all of demigods.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah. Okay, Vrindavanath. I think it's between me, you, and Silpesh today.
And also Rishabh Prabhu.
Rishabh is there. He's gone
So-
now.
So thank you, devotee, for all the questions. Any last minute question, devotees? Do you have any last minute? Any last question? Other devotees, please. Looks like everybody is busy in preparation of Easter retreat, Maharaj.
You're busy doing what?
No, I'm saying everybody looks like busy in Easter retreat planning for New Vrindavan. That's why they are not asking questions.
Is that what you're doing?
And I am also trying to, Maharaj, myself and Vrindavan Dham Prabhu, we both are trying to, but unfortunately not getting accommodation. So just trying to work with the Prema Kishori Mataji and others, if we can get any.
If you want, just contact me. I'll get you accommodation.
Oh, Krishna. Yeah, just.
Well, yeah, I'd be real happy if you can come. You can have your dancing inspiration in our program would be really nice. I can see you enlivening everybody in Kirtan.
All your mercy, Maharaj. And we are just trying, like myself and Vrindavan Dham Prabhu, we are very, very much trying today and also yesterday, just to get any accommodation. So then we can go ahead. We'll confirm, Maharaj, by today or tomorrow.
Okay, good. I'll put in a good word.
Thank you, Maharaj.
I can't see why anybody would be blocked at this point. I mean, there's so many accommodations there. I know all the secret hiding places in New Vrindavan, so if you come, you can follow me. I'll show you where you can go.
Sure, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you.
So it looks like there is no further question, Maharaj. I think it's just dot time. If it's okay, then we can close the session today.
Yeah, good. And I'll be here tomorrow. And
Yes.
then if the schedule changes, starting on Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm not here. But I think Thursday I'm good. Friday I should be good. 2 on, 2 off. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj, for joining. Thank you, all the devotees, for joining today's session. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai.